Welcome to Foot in Mouth, the podcast about all things football. We are back after the international break. I got the homie Ashley with me. Ashley, how you doing?
I'm easy, bro. How are you?
I'm good, my man. I'm good. So this is the episode that I have, since the show started, been particularly looking forward to because it's all Arsenal, baby. So I'm excited, a bit more excited than Ashley because we actually have some very differing opinions on the club, to say the least. But overall, how are you feeling so far about the season? After the transfer
About
business?
this season?
About this season, right now.
Hey, bro, the first thing I said going into the season, I have no expectations for this season. No lie.
But is that a good or a bad thing? No? Like you have no expectations because you're like, look, give the manager time or...
Time! There's no time in football anymore these days. Now I would say it's in a bad way, bruh, because imagine you as a football fan going into a season saying that you have no hope, you expect nothing from this team. That is down bad.
You're supposed to get like a lot of excitement from this.
Exactly. Even though the signings we made didn't excite me, bruh. So
Nah, even now.
Now the signings it is individually so far, Kwai. You must give that to them. But the season is a marathon, bro. There's so much players that came in that started Kwai.
Yeah, I feel you.
So I don't have hope, but especially, you know, with this me and this manager, bro.
Yeah, Arteta out for days.
Bro.
So look, have you been Arteta out? Is it pretty much, were you Arteta out before the FA Cup win? Or is it something where after the FA Cup, that's when you started to really see the downfall?
I actually didn't want him at all.
No?
But he was a...
Unknown.
I don't want to swear, but he was a key player for us.
You can swear. You can swear. The man was cock.
He was cock, yeah. He was not even a club legend, me, bro.
Yeah, he's not. No.
That is a L.
That's cock through.
Look, when he did come, when he played the FA Cup run, the way he was playing, gevaarlijk. We never played like that at all.
That's true.
We went through, everybody doubted us at the whole FA Cup. Arteta was the whole man pulling the strings tactic-wise.
Especially when it was City in the semi-final.
Exactly.
Men were like, alright, well, this is where we're going to dip.
Bruh.
And then Chelsea in the final, I wrote us off. I was like, look, maybe it's going to be another Baku. You know what I mean? Just a humiliation here.
That's what we all expecting, yeah.
Yo, bro. But he pulled it off, yeah.
He did, but you know what? You know where I saw that, I don't trust this man yet. When he first came in, the talk that he gave, telling all of us, he's going to get the culture back, the Arsenal DNA, the values. I kept him to that word. When I look now, there is none of that.
That's true. We still don't have a style of play.
None of that.
Still don't have a proper
How
style
many
of
players
play.
did that man exile, bruh? Even the after vicing everybody. Nah, you're going to get the... Yeah,
clean
exactly.
slate. Yeah.
There's Guendouzi, Ozil, Saliba, the list goes on. Even what he's doing now to Martinelli also.
Oh,
Bruh, that's why I don't trust this man. He have no style of play. He has a full fit team now.
Yeah.
If one of the players get injured, we're back to square one.
That's
if one
true.
of our centre backs get injured, we're back to square one.
that's true.
And bruh, he took us now worse run.
You know
was
what?
that?
I think I
history.
sympathize. I think I over-sympathize with him because of the conditions that he's working in now. Like, look, the man's first job, he came in, no? Already now, inexperienced, completely. I mean, the other candidates at the time, they were looking at Vieira, you know, he at least managed before. There was talk of Henry, he at least managed before. But this he's literally just a blank canvas. Mikel Arteta, this is his first job. It's massive for your first job. That man's CV looks great from the get-go. So I was skeptical, but I love an underdog story. So I was kind of, like you say, you know, he wasn't a club legend. But I do know that, I remember, but like it was yesterday, that transfer window when we signed Arteta. But I stayed up whole night to wait for the confirmation. Because I really liked him at Everton. I didn't think he was going to be that phenomenal player coming to Arsenal. I was just happy. I mean, look at me, I was younger. At the time, I was just like, oh, dope, a player that I grants joining Arsenal.
Why?
You know what I mean?
Why?
And then when he went to City and he started coaching there and everything, I always stood very firmly by all the good that Pep did, he didn't do it alone. And when they started speaking up how much of an influence Arteta has on the coaching and stuff, so now I was like, I can buy into this a little bit. But I do feel you in that from that FA Cup, even in that run up until the FA Cup, you can count on one hand how many times you actually played like proper attacking, pressing football.
Even up until today, bro.
Even up until today, yeah. Even up until
That is
today.
the worrying thing.
It's weird that we can't keep that consistent.
Part of me doesn't blame Arteta, blame the board for hiring him, bruh.
Oh yeah, look,
Like-
it wasn't his fault. You know, like it's one of those things.
Yeah,
He,
but
he wasn't gonna say no to the job.
Exactly, but still, I mean, the players that you have, you're telling me you finished back-to-back 8th. The players that you started, we understand, okay, when you just came, you needed to get your players
Find
out
your
to-
feet, yeah.
Exactly, you wanted your own players. You're starting to see signs now, the players that he wants. But look how long it's taken since he's been here. Who did he sign when he got here first? Willian. Who wanted Willian?
Yeah, no one wanted William.
But
bro.
we wanted Willian. Pablo Mari. Who's that? Where did he come from?
Look, Pablo Maria I was actually okay with, just considering how little we paid. And after the bits that I saw of him in the, I mean, like when Sao Paulo played against Liverpool,
Yeah.
I think in the was it the
There
club
was a-
championship
yeah,
or something?
yeah.
He did really good.
I
So
see.
I think that he did enough for me to be like, what 6-7 mil? Let's take the risk.
But is that good enough for where we are right now and who we are?
Yeah, certainly
That,
not.
me bro, we need to
Definitely
think of who we are, me bro. We signing players like we are a top 12 team.
not. Hey, we got Ben White, bro. Benjamin White.
Bro, don't get me started with that man, me bro. I'll get to that man. I don't know why he's on Arteta, me bro. That man is proven so many times why he shouldn't be at Arsenal. It's too early. Maybe he'll be a good manager in a few years.
Down the
but
line, yeah.
For us right now, it's not what we need.
Maybe
bro.
that's what the board is thinking. Maybe the board is kind of like, look, because even when you hear other managers and other players and stuff speaking, they all have like high hopes for this man. So maybe the board is kind of thinking, look, let's rather keep hold of him rather than we sack him now, he goes somewhere else, does amazingly, and then we look like fools. You know what I mean?
But that is maybe what he also needs because, bro, if you look at it's not him alone, there's Edu also and Vina that's on top
Yeah,
of
yeah,
him.
yeah.
And him and Edu, did you hear what they've been speaking recently and what they've been saying? Edu is coming out saying we don't have any ambitions
No
for top
targets.
4.
No targets, yeah.
Bro,
That was weird. That was kakwe. You're
Bro.
a club like Arsenal and you don't have the confidence to go out there and be like
Yo.
Champions League football, minimum.
that is me, bro. I don't understand this. I don't understand the club as a whole, bro.
It's bizarre, bruh. I think it's been a proper roller coaster and COVID hasn't helped. COVID definitely hasn't helped. But I do agree, like, he's gotten, as much as I do like the guy, and I am hopeful, I am very, very hopeful, I do also agree that he's gotten a lot wrong with his man management, especially. Like you were saying now with Martinelli just now. I mean, every Arsenal, I don't know a single Arsenal fan that don't want to see that man on the pitch more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm all for like not rushing a player, especially a young player. But I feel like especially when Aubameyang was having his massive dip in form and shit, I would like to see Arteta get a bit more ruthless. I mean, like, right, look, bro, you've had 2-3 games, you haven't performed, sit
Exactly.
bench.
Exactly.
You must earn your spot back into the team.
He has his favorites, bro.
Yeah, Xhaka.
He has his favorites.
Granted, boy.
He had Bellerin is his favorite. Saka's
Yeah.
his favorite. Aubameyang's his favorite. He showed us when he came his indecisiveness.
Yeah.
He doesn't. It's like he's playing. He's thinking too much with his heart.
True, I think that's a really good
He's
way to
thinking too
put
much
it.
with his heart.
That's a very good way to put it, yeah.
It's almost like he's scared to make these big decisions.
Mm.
Like look at that the North London derby. How he handled the Aubameyang situation when Aubameyang came late.
And Isuma
Made
benched
it
him.
publicly.
Yeah.
This man have a lot to learn, bro. Now,
And he benched
you
him,
can't come learn this stuff at Arsenal, bro.
That's the worry, yeah. Like, it's because it's Arsenal. It's such a big club. People feel so strongly about this club. Had this been like, if he maybe took the Newcastle job now after their takeover, that would have made a bit more sense. Now it's like, alright, cool. New money. They're bringing in a fresh manager. One of the managers that suit this narrative, this whole profile of like these new breed of managers. You know, the young,
Yeah.
creative. Like, it's a bit weird because he always seems like he's overcautious. When we play, especially when he was having that midfield pivot of Partey and Xhaka, like that used to irk me because as like it wasn't the worst partnership, but like you were saying earlier on, going back to what he was saying about bringing back the Arsenal way and the philosophy and all, we are known for this dynamic, creative,
Expensive football.
fast pace. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You don't get that with the midfield that we have.
Our midfield is slow.
You do not get that with the midfield, and it's so bizarre to me that I still can't understand how we didn't go all out for like a really established, like Sabitzer type of midfielder in this last window.
We had, you know how much midfielders were available,
There was a lot, eh?
and we are dying out for midfielders.
Yeah.
Me bro, Basuma, we went to Brighton, we took Ben
50
White.
mil for Ben White instead
That
of
is the
Basuma.
wrong 50 mil, bro. Basuma
But look,
is
hey,
it?
Basuma was in kak now for this,
I saw
what,
that,
sexual
yeah.
assault, I think it
Yeah.
is. I think it's sexual
I will
assault.
still
Pontus
take
in
him,
the
bro.
chat.
I will still
Look,
take him.
yeah, bro, like we'll bring him back off the court.
Yeah, off the court.
Just
off
slot
his-
him there next to Party.
Anybody is
Nah, I love Basuma, eh?
Anybody's better than Xhaka.
And I really have a feeling that come Jan, Maybe not Jan. Brighton are starting. They've had a really good start to the season, so I don't think they're gonna want to sell him in Jan.
I will take Brighton's coach. What's his name?
Graham
name?
Potter.
I will take him instead of Arteta.
Graham Potter's a dope manager. I think he
I will
slept
take
on,
that,
bro.
man.
He slept on. He's very, very
He
slept on.
outschooled Arteta now against Brighton.
Yeah, like, you know, I think what gives me hope with Arteta is that, like you were saying, I think that he is still fairly new. Definitely, I think he's had enough time now to kind of
Too much time.
imprint his style and all that. I think he's had enough time to sort that out, and he hasn't yet. That's a bit of a worry. But I do think that I trust the comments and the feedback coming
Trust
from the
the
players.
process.
Like,
Go on, there's no process. It's not a process anymore. It's a project now. Dude. Yeah, it's a project.
full project.
They're saying it's
It's
a
a
project
full
now. It's not a
project.
process anymore. There's nothing to trust with this manager, bro. I'm honestly serious. I can't see any reason as to why I must believe what this man is doing.
In the FA Cup, again, the FA Cup gave him a lot of time. I think
Credit
after
in his
that,
bank,
after that FA Cup, it bought him a lot of time. More time than any other man. I mean, even Emery, more time than Emery got. You
I
know
just
what I mean?
papered over the cracks, bro.
I'd paper over there. But at that time, I won't lie, I got caught up in the euphoria of it all.
True.
I was like, fuck, you know, it's an FA Cup. We
I
beat
mean,
Chelsea
what?
for it.
Yes.
Like, I was riding
played
high.
gevaarlijk,
And
bro.
then come the Community Shield, we end up beating Liverpool. Yes, on penalties, but I was like, dope. You know, because I think that the biggest place that Arteta's improves our game is our form against the big six.
Quite, yeah.
Because before Arteta came in, we were getting hidings. But now it's like, is it really worth it? Because, yeah, we might not be getting hidings from the big six all the time now. But now we're struggling against the dopey teams.
We always struggle against the OP team.
Yeah, but I mean, like we could always, under Arsene Wenger at least, we could kind of bank on, you know, getting points where we should get points.
Yeah.
And then, underperforming against the big boys,
big
but
ones,
we could at least still make top 4 because we got points where we, on paper, should have got points. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas now, I think because the league overall is improving, we can't get by on that anymore. I mean,
what
even
I'm saying.
tonight now, we're playing Crystal Palace tonight. If this was a couple years ago, that would have been like, okay, cool, 3 points.
Why?
But now it's like,
You don't know what to
fuck.
expect, bro.
I mean, they also, yes, they're not racking up the points, but their style of football, since Vieira's come in, you can see that instant change. They are literally, I saw a stat yesterday about how the average passes per games that they're having now is literally is the highest it's been since they started recording stats in football. Like, that's instant.
But,
the
they
players
came-
bought into the philosophy, the manager could imprint his style. And that's the difference that you get when you bring in a manager that's had experience before. And that's what we aren't seeing with Arteta. Like you say, Arteta is learning on the job. But it's just a bit worrying when he's learning that at Arsenal. We don't have the patience for that.
Bro, how long are we waiting for a proper manager to just get us going in the right direction?
And we thought Emery would be that guy, eh?
Emery, yeah. One thing I'll say about Emery is he brought us Saka, he brought us Smith Rowe, he brought us Martinelli.
Okay, look, with Smith Rowe, I'll say no. The only reason I'll say no is because I don't even think Emery had... Smith Rowe was injured at the time a lot. You know what I mean? And then I think he went out on loan. But I know when Arteta came in, and I always bring this up because a lot of people go over this, but Arteta, when he came back, one of the first questions he was asked is what happens with Smith Rowe, and he made it very clear that boy is staying with us when he comes back from loan. So I think Arteta saw the potential there.
But Arteta was forced into playing the man. He didn't play the man at all. Against Chelsea, he was forced to play the man because we had no creative. Smith Rowe was sitting there waiting how long while we were playing Willian the whole time.
Yeah, there were a lot of minutes that went to William that could have gone to someone like...
Reece Nelson was
Reece
in the form of his
Nelson,
life,
boy.
scoring assists. His last game he scored against Liverpool. After that, we didn't see that man again.
And then again, there was talk of him not training hard enough and all that shit.
Arteta for me is like, his ego, he just want to be the old man.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell him nothing. But everybody else can see the shit from outside the club. But he can't.
And it looks so obvious from our
Bro,
point. From our point of view,
he's-
it looks so obvious.
But the thing is, he's proving it to us the whole time. But the selections that he's making with his team, the signings the favorites that he's playing,
Yeah.
the signings that he's making. Like, okay, now I'll give it to him. He's signing where we need to because how long of the Mensa, the fans, voicing, we need this, we need that.
That right back especially, bro.
It's getting clearer to him.
Right back
But look how
especially.
long it's taking for him to realize that.
Yeah.
We needed a right back. We needed a goalkeeper.
And you know, I think that's why I'm so excited for this Arsenal All or Nothing that they're busy filming now.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to believe that he's that dumb. You know, for lack of a better word,
He's
like
stupid, bro.
it's so hard to believe that he's actually that blind to the gaps and the problems with the club. Like you say, we can sit here and we don't even need to be in that boardroom to be like, maybe
Bruh.
This is wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. So I want to see this documentary because I want to see if this man is actually aware of what the fuck is going on at this club.
From what I can see from the outside, also the way, if I look at, when I watch Arsenal play and I look at that man is 24/7 on the sidelines, micromanaging players, telling
And he's
them what
shouting
to
a
do.
whole lot of shit, yeah. You can't have, like, I definitely have a problem with that as well. Because I think that's also why someone like Pepe suffers. Because Pepe needs to be able to play his natural game. And he needs the confidence of the manager to go out there, do what he needs to
You
do.
have this man wishing you in the back of your ear, play here, go here. Leave the men, so let them. They professionals, bro.
That's true.
But
I'm pretty sure that,
happening on the field.
the invincible side, but they could probably like manage themselves. You know what I mean? Wenger just told them, go for it. Fucking go for it, bruh.
I don't trust this man at all, me, bro. He didn't prove me anything. Even when you're winning now, it's not. When last did you see a convincing win? For me, Spurs wasn't even a convincing win.
Spurs, yeah, I also said, yeah, look, Spurs, we obviously we got happy because it was Spurs, but I think that a lot of that was down to how poor Spurs were.
They gave us the game.
Then it was to how good we were
But
playing.
did you see second off when they changed it up, when they actually put the midfield in?
Yeah,
And
the
then
dynamic changed.
And what did Arteta do? He took so long to make changes where he could have bring other wingers on. Saka was dying, Smith Rowe was dying. Why don't you bring on other wingers or
Martinelli, that was a league game to bring on Martinelli.
just to keep them back? But you see, that is again man management in
Yeah.
game situation.
Which
that
he's
man
still
no
learning.
focal, bro.
Look, I think I'm a very patient person by nature. I'm a very patient person
Me
by
also,
nature.
bro, but not with this man.
Not with Arteta.
Not with this man.
I don't know, I don't know what it is. It's like you were saying, it's not even a process anymore. Now it's a project. But
see?
I don't know what it is. I think I'm so desperate to see this man succeed that even me, I admit, I'm overly optimistic. There's not enough going right at Arsenal for me to be as optimistic as I am. But like, I think this is also a bit of me like kind of just being stubborn to like the toxicity in football.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like I see enough people throwing around all this anger and hate.
Yeah.
And I kind of, it's almost like I feel like it's my responsibility to be like, hey guys, relax, you know?
It's just men that want the best, that can see the obvious,
Yeah.
bro. Even if that man must win the Champions League, I won't be happy for him, bro.
You'll be happy for Arsenal.
Bro, that man gave us our worst start to the league in history.
Yeah, in
bro.
history.
He went on a run where I think it was 9 games, he didn't win a game. How do you not sack a manager?
That's true.
Look
That's
at
true.
Chelsea. Lampard is a club legend, bro.
Yeah.
He didn't care.
They sacked him quick.
He didn't care.
Quick. And I think you could see even there that he was professional about it because he wasn't bitter towards anyone. Lampard was kind of like, alright, look, that's the reality. I'm gone.
Exactly.
Cool. Like,
That just shows you the difference. Our owners are in America. They don't care about. They
yeah, eh?
They don't even know what color shirts we wear, bro.
But what's even sad is, I mean, Liverpool have American owners, but they give a fuck about the club at least.
Exactly.
Like they at least care. I'm pretty sure the Liverpool owners will show up at games, you know, or you'll see someone that represents the ownership at the game. I mean, with the Arsenal games, up until they started getting a lot of shit from fans, you didn't even see Josh Kroenke.
That's the
in
only
the
time they
stands.
come.
That's when they started coming through.
That's the only
All of
time
a
they
sudden
come.
now Josh is here almost every game. You know what I mean?
Even falls hope.
Like, and it's still a bit disappointing because I still don't think there's enough transparency and communication with the fans. But like, again, that's something where I look at it and I'm like, look, you know what? At least the man is trying now.
Yeah.
I wish it was under better circumstances. But I'm hoping that slowly but surely everybody from top to bottom is just waking the fuck up now.
That's why I said it starts from the top, bro.
It starts at the top.
from the top.
It
Bro,
really
we
starts
have
at the top.
inexperience from the top. Vina, Edu, inexperience. Where did Edu come from? He managed to. He was at Brazil. He
was in the Brazil national team. I think
and then he was at
there
the
involved.
club in Brazil, and now he's at Arsenal.
And
with
even
no
that,
experience.
he is a invincible. But again, if ever anybody asks you
Invincible.
to name you, like that's what I'm saying. He was part of the
Exactly.
side. He was just a part of the team.
He's invisible, bro. Invisible here by us, bro.
It was weird. It was weird. The board, I think, they hyped up Edu so much. And I was like, cool, look, I know the player. I understand he was an Arsenal player. I understand he was there when we went invincible. But again, if you ask any Arsenal fan, name your top 10 players in Arsenal history, I doubt Edu makes the cut.
Top
bro.
20, not even
I
him, bro.
doubt Edu makes the cut. And I don't like, look, I'm not trying to disrespect the player. I'm appreciative for the work that he did as a player. But I also think that, look, Martinelli is the best thing he's done since he joined.
If you cack, bro. You have to put it that way.
Yeah.
You must face the music and just get better, bro. But, I mean, we, Arsenal Football Club, the third biggest club in England, and you sign in Arteta, Edu, Vinay. That is 3 inexperienced people that have. If the board must look at their CV, what are they gonna see? There's no background about
Football.
Exactly.
It's
Or any
business.
top club that they can say, nah, they did this for this club.
It's
There's
all
nothing-
economics, finance, this,
There's
that. They
nothing, bruh.
see it much more as a business. I mean, I get it is a business, but it's almost like they're not hiring in passion, man. Like,
Compared to how the other clubs are run, bro, in terms of the spending value, who they spend their money on, how the club is run, we are bottom of the pile, bro.
yeah,
like,
dude.
So you're saying like Arsenal's like it's run like a success
business.
at Arsenal is money. It's not
It's a business,
It's
dude.
not necessarily winning games. Is
It's
that's how you measure
100%
success
a
at
business.
As
Arsenal
long
at the
as we
moment.
maintain where we are so that the owners can get their money, that is it,
It's a
bro.
business.
They
And look,
don't care
that's what
about
hurts
trophies.
the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't care about winning trophies. They just care about
Making
sustaining-
profit once-
Yeah,
yeah.
just maintaining.
Look, I mean, the Kroenke hasn't put. I know there was. I'm pretty sure it's different now, but like last year, there was a stat that came out where he was like the only owner to not put a cent of his money into the
Yeah.
club. Which again, immediately you're fighting a losing battle when Arsenal's going up against these other multi-billionaires. You know what I mean? You have to spend if you want to get
Exactly.
trophies and results in this day. I was speaking with the other brother Anzio at Liverpool. Like Liverpool, they have such a good business structure there because they do spend a lot of money, but a lot of what they spend is based off of what they make.
What
Because
they make.
they can sell players for profit. You don't see that at Arsenal.
The same with Chelsea, bro.
At Chelsea as well, but you don't see that at Arsenal.
Chelsea,
Man United can sell
bruh.
someone like Dan James for 20-something million.
I was gonna say now.
You don't see that at Arsenal.
Who in our team can you sell for 20 mil? Xhaka's the only player that can sell for 20
If
mil.
that, Roma didn't even want to fucking pay it.
Exactly. Chelsea signs a youngster that you never heard of for 30 mil, 40 mil. Explain that, bruh.
It's bizarre. And that's why I think like Arsenal this has been over the years, it's gotten so bad. I wouldn't be surprised if these other clubs just genuinely feel like, fuck, it's Arsenal, let's just take the piss.
That is what they do, bro. That is
take
what
the
Roma
piss.
did.
That's exactly
Bro, they
what
told
they did,
us they don't have 20 million
And
for
then they
Xhaka and
spent
then they
on
go
Tammy.
buy 40 million.
They spent on Tammy,
That's us, bro. Even Aston Villa is trying to take us for a one-up.
With Smith Rowe, bruh. I was getting annoyed with that shit, eh?
Everybody's
Yo,
taking us for a
But I will say this, I would rather Arsenal start taking a firm stance on transfers now because they played oddball with Roma for Xhaka. And I wanted Xhaka gone. I was even one of those O's who was like, fuck it, but take the 10 mil,
Bro,
take the
let
10
him
mil.
go for free. I'll take him this.
Take the 10 mil, get him off the wage books and all that. But I at least like that the club stood firm. They said, nah, if you're not going to eat, I think they were asking for like 15.
But that's the wrong play to stand firm on.
But that's what I'm saying.
will-
Look, you have to start somewhere. You know what I mean? You
But
have
you
to
see
start
now,
somewhere.
that is where they're getting it wrong. They're trying to do this with that. They do it a long time already.
They
with
should have.
Van
They
Persie,
definitely
with
should have done it long
Nasri,
ago.
Fabregas. They do it that time already. They're doing it now with the wrong players, bruh.
Yeah. But that's why I say, look, better late than never. Again, I'm trying to
Okay.
be optimistic. Better late than never. Because, again, if this was under the old regime, they would have sold Mensa. We would have kept on running at the loss. And it just wouldn't have changed. So now, if clubs at least see, look, we can't just go to Arsenal with any old offer. We have to take them seriously. At least it's starting now. Because you can bet that come the end of this season and more players are nearing the end of contracts, we're going to look at selling people like Chambers and Holding and Xhaka again probably. You know what I mean? And I would rather set a precedent now already that any interested parties need to come with serious money, or you're just wasting our time, you're wasting your own time.
The thing is, can we sell these players on these wages? Because look, we struggled this season to
The
offload.
wage structure made kak for us.
We couldn't get Maitland-Niles off. We
Yeah.
couldn't get who couldn't we get off? There was so much players we couldn't get off our ball.
I think,
William, we struggled so hard. It was last minute that he also had to leave.
yeah, but sure. That was, but again, even the fact that he left on a free. Like, I know a lot of men who are like, oh, he's done Arsenal such a big favor. And like, he did, but at the same time, like, I think even he realized, I need to get the fuck out of here.
We were starting the season with Kolasinac.
How bizarre. A brother was basically out the door.
And the people are still telling me I must give Arteta time.
And he's still at the, but you know what?
I'll play 10 men rather than play that man, me, bro.
Well, when it comes to selling our players, I will say it's hard for me to blame the board and everyone straight up because not even we want these players. I can't blame them for not selling a Kolasinac because if I was any club in world football, I wouldn't the fuck be looking at Kolasinac. You know what I mean?
True, yeah.
The only disappointment is the fact that he's on such high wages because when we got him for free. So we could give him liquor wages. But now we stuck with the night.
Yeah.
And that's my problem. My problem is that the wage structure has gotten so out of
Crazy,
whack.
bro.
I mean, I think Holding and them, I don't know if Holding's on 100k per
Ben
week.
White is 100k, bro.
Ben White's 100. But look, he was our marquee signing. So that I can at least understand to a certain degree I can understand. I think it's too much. It's
Yeah,
definitely too much.
Holdings on 1.3 million a year.
A year.
Yeah.
Like, you look, our players are earning good. They are not playing like they earn and deserve those wages.
True,
But
yeah.
the club, throws the money at them. And again, I can't blame anybody for signing a contract. If I'm fucking Ben White
Yeah,
and I
definitely.
see 100K, I'm saying, dope. I will sign off. Not my fault, you know.
That's
No
exactly
matter
what he-
what happens, whether he plays or not, whether he does well or not, he gets paid that money.
But the comments that he made, it sounds like he does that. Did you hear what he said?
When you were saying he doesn't really watch football in his free time and all
Bro,
that shit.
you are a professional athlete. You don't watch football. You only watch yourself because you need to study your analytics. Personally.
Yeah.
You in it
think
for the money, bro.
there's a lot of men that were giving him that had again differences of opinions, because I wasn't particularly set off by that. Because the way I see it is kind of like, look, I mean, when you go home from your job, you don't just do more of your job in your leisurely time. But at the same time, it was football. So for us, again, outside looking in, it's common sense for you to be like, you should watch the games, learn your opponents, you know, learn the styles of football you're going to be coming up against. I would like to think that Ben White is watching his push off on highlights of Crystal Palace, because coming up against Wilfred Zaha
Exactly.
and Edward and all of them, I would like to know this man is up to scratch and he knows what he's got to
That
do.
man's playing with his dogs, bro.
He's
That
playing
man,
with his
he
another
said, bro,
Sanchez.
he is playing with his dogs. He doesn't watch. How do you not watch football? How do you not want to better your craft? I will go watch Maldini, I'll watch Campbell, I'll go watch.
Yeah. You learn from the greats. Yeah. You
Bro,
learn
that
from the
man,
greats.
I can't believe he said it straight that he doesn't watch football. He's not interested.
I kind of don't mind it. I don't mind it so much, because I feel like if you perform on the pitch and you take the training session seriously, again, like I said, I would like that he does it more. And look, he's still young. I think he's 23, 22,
yeah.
23. Like, obviously, he's not a spring chicken. But I'm hoping that he eventually starts doing that.
Bruh, if I must get paid that much,
I would live and breathe football.
bruh.
Fuck a family. Like,
And then he still
ball
says,
is life, ball is wife.
and then he still says he knows nothing of Arsenal's history.
The legends,
he doesn't
yeah.
know Vieira is wearing his
Vieira
shirt
and
now.
all that. Yeah.
Bruh.
Look, it doesn't sound nice to an Arsenal fan's ear, but at the same
Imagine,
time,
okay, listen here. Imagine you sign for United and you don't know who David Beckham is.
yeah, okay, it sounds alarming. But I suppose the way I rationalize it is that, look, outside of this podcast, I'm an audio engineer, but I don't know these amazing audio engineers by
That's
you
so
know
different,
by
though.
name.
But that's
No,
but it's not like football is a household mainstream media.
Yeah.
Let's
No,
call it
look,
media.
I get it. It's exciting for us, but if football has been like 12 hours of your day every day since you were like 11, I'm pretty sure you get a little gutful when you're home and you finally have time off the pitch.
To be honest, he's the first player I've ever heard say that.
No, there've been plenty.
Ronaldinho said it, but
There's been
There's
plenty
players that
players.
say that,
If you Google, there are a lot of players who
But
have
the
said,
thing
I
is-
don't watch football when I'm at
the
home.
thing is, those players didn't done it already.
That's what I'm saying. Ben White is not at that caliber. So that's why it's so alarming.
Exactly.
He's still young. This is the time when he should be soaking up as much of it as possible. You know what I mean? By the time Ben White hits 26, he should be... in an ideal world, he is going to be one of the greats. You know what I mean? Because that's 3-4 years. You're a young player. You're developing as you go. You want to develop your whole game. By that time, I'm pretty sure as a defender, I think defenders peak at around 28 side.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But by 26, that's when you're going to look at Ben White and be like, you are this player now. And you're not going to get to a certain standard if you don't really live and breathe it as much as you should.
Exactly.
So I do understand the concerns.
But that probably makes sense as to why so cack. Because, bro, that man is poor, bruh.
Why
He's
so
poor.
incomplete? I'll say incomplete.
Bruh, all the games he played, he doesn't look convincing for me.
Do you know what? I think he should be played more as a defensive mid. I can't lie.
Or right back.
Or maybe he can play right back. But I mean, look, now it's Tommy Yasu, bro. I wouldn't put anybody at
Okay,
right
yeah.
back other than Tommy Yasu.
Yeah, but like, they put him in the midfield, but then... But
But
I
just as a
just
DM,
don't trust that man, bro.
I would want him. I would want to see more of him as a defensive. Same with David Luiz. I would have liked to see David Luiz more as a defensive midfielder.
Yeah, we
because he wasn't like that man was always either really good or really shit. But if that man, I kind of feel like if he had that defensive mid position, he could find a pass. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think Ben White tries to do the same because he can have those midfield slicing passes. But I would like to see him a bit further up. And I don't mind if in an ideal world now for me, end of this season, Saliba comes back. We've got a centre-back partnership of Gabriel and Saliba with Ben White in front of them. And then it's going to be a matter of who is in charge at the time and who can convince this brah stay at Arsenal.
Who's been in charge? Who sent him up and down? Who didn't play him yet? Who
eh?
didn't give him a
I actually
chance
feel
yet?
a bit sore for Emery again there because Emery signed him and he never even got a chance to manage the boy.
Bruh.
And I think Emery didn't sign him for nothing. Look, he identified Saka's talent. And like that full on was that was Emery's highlight. I think like he did a lot of good and a lot of bad. But Saka is the
The one that
That's literally what people are going to remember Emery for. The fact that he introduced Saka into this first
That's
team.
why I say Arteta can't take credit for no one, bro.
I will say that he can take some credit for Smith Rowe, because again, Emery didn't have the chance to play him, but Arteta was at least fortunate enough to be here when Smith Rowe started coming up. So by sheer luck, Arteta is going to take accolades for Smith Rowe.
I won't give him accolades. The fact that he was forced to play the man against Chelsea when we
Yeah.
had him for the whole season.
I'm so sure the man was injured before the
Bruh.
Chelsea game, man. And then it was a matter of getting back to fitness and all that stuff.
Hey, bro.
Unless I'm just being optimistic again.
How
I might
long-
just be full thinking.
So you're telling me since the start of the season, that when it was last season, since the start of last season till Chelsea, it was December, we played
He's
without the
had
creative
a bad
midfielder.
run of injuries. And I think he was... Okay, now he wasn't alone last season. Yeah, he wasn't alone. That was straight up just a matter
Yeah.
of Arteta waiting to introduce him.
And then he goes and signs Odegaard.
I love Odegaard. So you...
What?
Look, I love Odegaard, bruh.
Why?
I am a massive fan.
Why? Tell me why.
I think his player profile now, he's basically got everything that I look for in a favorite player. Because I think he's very Ozil-esque in his style of play. Like, he can find a pass, he has nice flair about him. Yes, he's not a great finisher. The finishing product is not there and all that. But his movement off the ball and I think he's smart. Look, I think it's very easy to forget that he's only 20. You know, or he's 21 or
22.
something. 22. Look, he's still very young. He's very young. And obviously, you look at other players at other clubs like Hassam Awar, like he's also 22, 23 side and all that. And you look at the differences that these people have made. Like, I think Awar is a more prominent player than Odegaard is right now. But Awar's also had structure and he's had consistency in one team. Odegaard signed for Real Madrid at a young age. I think he was 16. They were all labeling him as the fucking Norwegian Messi
He
and
was
all
6
that shit.
years, yeah.
And then he never really got a run of games there. He got
No,
sent on
never.
loan, didn't do so well, came back. Then he got sent to Real Sociedad, started performing liquor, and as soon as he started doing well, Real Madrid recalled him, more because he was helping out the rival team in the league. But then he went back to Madrid, and then again he sat bench, or not even bench. So you get this young guy who's got all the ambition in the world, but he wasn't the fuck supported. You know what I mean? I don't think he's had a manager that's actually had confidence in him to be like, bro, you number one. You number one name on this team sheet when it comes to midfield. Like, go out there and do it. And I think he's starting to get that at Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal were the only club that would have been interested in him. But I think that he genuinely has, like, backing from Arteta at the very least to be that midfield maestro. You know what I mean? And I think that it's still early enough for him to really switch it on. Because, look, last season we saw glimpses. You know what I mean? There were those games where it was like, oh, shit, okay, this is Odegaard. Like, this nigga can ball. And I'm hoping to see more. I definitely don't think we've seen enough from him yet. But at 30 mil, that was a good price for a player
That's
like
the other
that.
thing, yeah. The one thing I'll say that what I ran about that man is off the ball, the way
Off
man
the ball,
presses.
dude. It's smart play. He's smart with how he moves off the
Yeah.
ball. And I think that's very easy to underappreciate. Because he's not the bra, like again, he's not the bra making the assist, but he's on the pre-assist.
That's what I
You know what I
say.
mean? Like, he has a role to play, and I do think I'm with you. He's not where he needs to be yet. He's not where Arsenal need him to be
For
yet.
now, bro, that man lose the account how much times that man lose the ball every game. That man lose the ball more than 5 times every game, bro.
But even that, I would say, look, the players around him are not nearly to the
That's
to the
also
standard that he needs. Like Ozil, at least he had the luxury of Ozil at Real Madrid. Look at the players he was with.
Yeah.
Oh my God, like you could only succeed as a creative player. You know, when he came to Arsenal, luckily that was the time when he still had Sanchez there. He still had Cazorla.
Yeah.
Like Ozil with that team, and then look at Ozil's downfall was when we started losing all of those players around him. You can only do so much as a creative outlet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but for me, Odegaard is just, there's something about him, like, I don't know, I just can't see him on the ball. Like, on the ball, most of his passes will either go backwards, sideways. These progressive players,
That's not
what
there
is
yet.
not there for me
That's not-
because
I mean, look, even someone like David Luiz had more progressive play than him last season.
Brian Ruiz is centre back.
Yeah.
That Odegaard is the man that gets the ball from a party or whatever and opens up the space for your wingers, your attackers. But I think also we're playing with a striker that's not there, bro. I'll rather play Aubameyang, Lacazette than
I
Aubameyang,
would as
bro.
well. Lacazette suits the style of play more. Let's be
Exactly.
serious. He suits the
Exactly.
style. He's not as flashy as Aubameyang because, I mean, look, hold up play is not the most exciting
Aubameyang
thing
is not
to
even
watch.
flashy anymore, bro.
He's lost all that flair.
Since that man signed that money, he's also
What time
signed
is
his
that
life
contract,
away.
eh? That's a bit of a cursed contract now
think
at
it
Arsenal.
is, me, bro.
Just like how the armband once
At
upon a time
ease.
was cursed, I think that 350k contract, that's a curse now.
Ease, bro.
Nah, 250, bro.
No, isn't he on 350?
Says here 250.
He just got
Oh,
mad money,
Maybe it's
bruh.
350 with bonuses or some shit like that. I don't know.
But fuck, nah,
That's
that
a
man
cursed
is.
contract.
I would sell that man. Well, I will just. But you see, because he's the captain, he will always play, and that is Arteta again.
I'm even sure that captaincy was a part of terms and the T's and C's for him to extend. They probably told him, look, but if you stay, I'll make you captain.
But who gave him that contract? Okay, right enough, he deserved it at the
He
time. I
definitely
would give
did.
him-
Because
I'll give him
again, I think like on AFTV, they always talk about it a lot. He's got enough in the bank to warrant this shit form. You know what I mean? It's like, bruh, you've single-handedly saved us from a very bad...
Yeah.
We've been doing badly, but we could have been a lot worse off
But
without
his
a ball
credit
making
is
goals.
up now. He's a whole full season. You
Yeah.
can't be so pop a whole season,
At
bro.
this point, it's bad, yeah. But look, even last season, again, I just, when they were saying with the malaria thing and all that, and they were saying malaria can have a long-term effect, and I was someone that looked at it like, okay, cool, look, I will give you this.
The effect that I could say, that could probably maybe be the cause that he lost a paar yards on his pace. That's the only
That's
thing I'll
all
give him.
really. Yeah. His finishing hasn't been there.
Bro,
His
that
first
man,
touches.
he had chances, bro. When was it the preseason game even, bro?
He didn't find a single goal in preseason, eh?
Bruh, and then he came to the season shooting blanks.
Fucking Nketiah was our best striker in preseason.
Nah, we are holding on to it's the same thing every year, bro. It's the same thing. Our players get old, they get mad money,
Yeah.
and then their form is just gone, and then we stuck with him.
And then we can't sell them off because of their wages, and we can't
That's
attract
the
players because we
same
don't have
story
European
with this team.
football.
Man. That's why I don't get angry at this team anymore, bro.
Yeah, you're numb to it now.
Bro, nothing can hurt me about this team.
I-
No one can tell me nothing that will make me feel junk about this
Okay,
team.
so let me ask you this.
No
No?
one-
Last season we finished 8th. No, we did finish 8th. But no, we were only 6 points behind 4th. No? Like, do you not see maybe that as more of a sign of how much more competitive the league is, more so than Arsenal just like plain and simple underperforming? We've definitely
I think-
underperformed.
I do think we are a table team, though.
Look, okay. Let me ask you this now. No? Last season, like I say, 6 points behind 4th place. You remember that Wolves game in particular when Luis
They
still got
robbed
sent
us.
off,
Bro,
where they robbed
all
us,
robbed us. They
where they
all
robbed
robbed
us. Now you tell me, if we got those 3 points that day, things look a little rosier.
You see, if we got
And that
if we
Wolves
got
game,
it, we
that Wolves
didn't
game
get it.
wasn't the only game that we were robbed of points by officials.
Yeah, but I don't even want to blame the refs or anything, but bro, there's so much photos of incidences that happened to us of how much points that we could have get because of this,
We've been
because of
robbed, bro. Daylight robbery.
that. The fact is, we still cuck, bro. We
But
still
no,
where we are.
but
man,
again, you know what? No, I feel like in those games where we were robbed, especially that Wolves game, I think that Wolves game came at a really shit
bro.
point when we were on a good run
We
of
on
form.
yeah.
Like something like that destroys morale. And there's no if we had actually won that Wolves game, which we fucking should have, there's literally no telling what direction the team would have gone on, because that game could have been the one where they're like, yo, nah, we back. You know
But
what I
you
mean?
see, we shouldn't be in that position in the
We shouldn't be
beginning,
relying on that at all.
If we cleaned up our mess in the start already and played consistently in the beginning of the season, we
Yeah.
wouldn't be them, bro. We wouldn't be needing this game or that decision.
Yeah.
That is why with this coach, we're always gonna be a top 8
There's
team,
gonna be
bro.
excuses, and there'll always be excuses.
Exactly.
There'll always be. And look, I do think that's why I'm so happy that I had you on the show now, because, like I say, it's too easy for me to look on the bright side of things at Arsenal.
No bright side, bro.
It's too easy for me to look at like I will look at players like Saka and Smith Rowe and them coming up, and I will be blinded by it a little bit. And I will listen to Arteta in his press conferences, and that man can still swoon me a little bit.
Now you see, that is what he's good at, bro.
Yeah, he's good. He's a
that.
good
That's why I
talker.
don't listen to that man at all, bro. I don't listen to him, bro. He talks too
He's a
much,
good
bro.
talker. He's
He
a good
talks
talker.
too much.
He's a really good talker. And I suppose, you know what it is? I think with me, it's more, I want to buy into something because I just want to enjoy supporting this club. So I think definitely it comes from a place of ignorance that I am so optimistic about it. But I'm so desperate just to buy into this philosophy and buy into this current Arsenal team. And just, like, look, I like what I've seen from Ramsdale so far. I was someone that was very against the signing because of the money. But I think that he has shown that he's well worth a place in Arsenal's team. I still think it was a bit of an overpay, but I think he's shown that he has a place in the team. I like what I've seen from Tomiyasu. Ben White, the verdict is out.
Verdict is out already. It's done.
But look, the man had 3 clean sheets in 4 games.
And
in
how
4
much-
games, he's conceded 1 goal.
Did you see how much mistakes that man
Yeah,
made in
look,
order
Gabriel
to-
held down the fort.
Bro.
Gabriel
Him
held down
and
the fort.
Tomiyasu and Ramsdale saved Ben White. Ben White is the weak link in
But
that
that's what I
team,
said.
bro.
It's so weird. He doesn't strike me as a centre back.
He's not. He can't hit the ball.
He doesn't strike. Although in that Tottenham game, that man won a header off of Harry Kane, and I was speechless.
Kane wasn't there, bro.
But I'll give it to Ben White. That man literally won an aerial challenge against Harry Kane.
You can just watch tonight. I guarantee you, he's gonna miskick a ball in a crucial moment. He's been doing that since he signed. He's been doing that.
Been sketchy.
Bro, it's either a pass that he doesn't make.
Look, he
or-
hasn't been perfect.
Bro, you don't have to be perfect, bro. Just be solid. Do the some. Look at Saliba, bro. I've been watching that man. That man is younger than Ben White.
Yeah.
Looks more stable at the back. When you get that feeling like I'm sure you get it with Ramsdale. You can feel that now you're safe with this
can
man.
trust.
Ben White,
You don't get it with
feel
Ben.
like your stomach works, bro. That man, I don't trust that man at all. And imagine him or Gabriel gets injured.
Yeah.
Anybody, that's a problem with our team now, bro.
We don't have depth.
We have a starting 11. If anyone gets injured,
We fucked.
and that is bad, bro. That's
The only place that you can look at and kind of be like, okay, is if you look at the wings, because if we lose a winger, we at least know we have Martinelli or Pepe. Or in the striker
I won't
department,
even trust it. How many games did Martinelli or Pepe play? If they're gonna come in now, they're gonna be
they're
rusty,
not match
bro.
fit at all. They're not match fit at all.
Arteta, bro.
And you can kind of see it in Martinelli's game, eh? The handful of appearances that he's had, he doesn't look like he has that spark yet.
Like
He
when he
still
started.
needs to.
I blame Arteta.
'Cause I think
Arteta
under
is
Emery-
the cause of all our problems
Under Emery, he
now.
was the highest scoring teenager in the league, eh? Martinelli.
Rayman's future was to the roof, bro.
It was, phew. And then he got that injury. And then when he came back, that's again, Arteta, I will agree, Arteta is being overly cautious with reintegrating him back into the side. I think he's done enough to show that he can have more minutes, he can handle more minutes. Look, the problem now for Martinelli and for Pepe is that it's looking like Arteta started to finally figure out his main starting 11. And at the ratings are going, I don't think anybody would take out Smith Rowe or Saka for Pepe or Martinelli right now. They are just the golden boys. Do you know what I mean?
True.
As much as I love Pepe, even though he's underperforming, I want to see more from him because I feel like he can offer more if he has a proper run of games and if he has a proper style of play that suits him. Because again, he's something like a luxury player. I don't think that he's the best team player, but a player like that, all you want him to do is finish. Let him run onto the balls facing goal, not facing with his back to the fucking goal. You know what I mean? He's not the brother that needs to make a turn. Same with the Bombing. Why don't we have any players that can send these balls over the top that he can run onto?
We're not playing in a system to do that. If you
We're
look
not
at
playing proper.
our wingers or our attackers, they are not trying to make runs in behind. It's from deep.
Yeah.
Come fetch the ball, work around 3 on the right, 3 on the left.
Yeah.
You just play.
And that's why I'm hoping Odegaard starts to come into his own a bit more because I feel like he was one of the missing links to be that guy who will make those passes that Oba and Pepe can run onto. You know what I mean? Because I think also when Ozil was still at the club, the few times that Ozil played with Pepe looked good. At least my memory, if I might be wrong, but I remember seeing a lot more from Pepe because Ozil had the experience at that time to know already, this bra's gonna run from here to here, I'm gonna give him that ball right there. That's where he needs that
We
ball.
don't have that, bro. And the thing is, we probably have one of the youngest teams in the league, bro.
Yeah. Which again,
So
that's something that I like. I do like that.
I like it, but I don't like it for now.
It comes with its
We
cons.
don't need that now.
It comes with its
Look
cons,
at
yeah.
United. United are signing players that come straight into the team, established, go. You
And that's-
expect things.
And that's also why I was saying now in the window, it would have been nice to see us get like at least an established creative midfielder. Not a young, as happy as I am with Odegaard, it would have been nice to see us bring in a talent. You know what I mean? Someone where you're like, oh shit, well Arsenal have that motherfucker now.
But then
They're gonna do
again,
things.
who wants to come to us, bro? We have nothing to offer them.
And that I have a problem with the fan base there. There's a lot of Arsenal fans who are a little bit delusional in thinking that we are still as
My bro.
as enticing as we once were. We are
I'm
not,
telling you,
especially
we-
without not even Europa League football.
We are a top 8 team. Bro, Leicester's overtaken us. West Ham has overtaken us.
All proper
Villa's
managers.
already.
All proper managers.
Bro, we are so far in the pecking order. It's unbelievable. That's why I have no hope for this team at all.
No?
We have the players. But
Yeah,
we
yeah.
need a proper person to get them going. Arteta is...
Not the one.
He's never been the one. That's why I said the board made a problem by signing this
Yeah.
man. Why? What convinced him to sign him? What did he do? Pick up Pep's cones. That's all he did. He didn't show us anything. No other experience.
He had nothing to show for it, yeah.
So why do you want to? What? Because you know why? Because he can talk. I bet he talked his way into this job.
I don't know, man. I can't help but just support this man. I do understand he's flawed. There are so many flaws. But I think I believe that he can succeed. The problem is that it's a question of when. Which is the
say,
problem.
how long are you gonna wait for him to show you and prove you?
Yeah, look, it takes a lot to piss me off as
How
an
many years
Arsenal
has he
fan.
been here already? 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years. It takes a lot to piss me off. It takes a lot to piss me off.
How
as an
many
Arsenal fan.
transfer windows did he have? 2, 3?
I will say he's had one. I think he's only had one that counts, and it's this last one that we had now. Because before, when he first joined, there was no budget, it was just loans. The second time that he joined, we at least brought in Thomas Partey, and that was our whole fucking budget. You know what I mean? And I'm at least happy Partey's there. I think Partey, when he's fit, that man is boss. Boss level. I think this window now was the first time that Arteta has brought in the players that he wants. He didn't get turned down. You know what I mean?
Who did he bring in that he wanted? Who do you think?
Ramsdale, that man was pushing hard for.
Okay, yeah,
he was
true.
pushing for Tommy Yasu, apparently.
I don't think he was pushing.
No,
for Thomas.
I was reading an article now this morning where they were saying apparently he thought the board wanted Emerson Royale. And he went and said, nah, give me Tommy Yasu.
But the thing, I don't know if it is, but look how late. For me, that tells me that I don't
Like a
think
panic
that
buy, like a panic buy.
exactly, because it happened so late in the window, and we've been needing a right back since how long?
I think that we were waiting for Bellerin to go.
You
couldn't
don't
do
even
it
you
until
don't even
Bellerin
need
came
to
in.
wait till he goes, bruh.
We needed him.
You just need to get that play in. Bellerin, bro, that is you don't understand how angry that man made me, bro. So his career at Arsenal.
That's one of the saddest. There's a shit ton of sad
We had to
stories at
sell him in
Arsenal.
Barca was wanting him. That's
And they
the
were
thing. We
poaching.
don't know when to sell our players.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I think we have to fix that. Before we can actually really get back to where we need to be, it's things like that need fixing.
Do you think it's gonna be fixed anytime soon with Edu? And look how long it took us to get Mustafi off the books.
Yeah.
It's bro, our club is in a mess at this moment, and it's sad, no? But it's gonna take us another 3-4 years, bro, to even compete.
I buckled up for it as soon as Arteta was announced. I was like, this is a 5-year project. It's gonna take 5 years at least before we're back to where we need to be.
Bruh, a project
It's sad, but I think that within the next 5 years, whether it's Arteta in charge at that time or not, I think this was always, since Wenger left, it was always gonna be a...
So if he doesn't make Europe, do you still keep him?
Nah, he's gone. Look, my minimum what's your minimum expectation this season?
Nothing.
Oh yeah, you said you...
Nothing.
you staying
Nothing,
true to
bruh.
that shit.
Nothing. I
Look,
don't
for me,
expect him to get
if it's no
anything.
Europa, bye-bye. If he doesn't get at least, I would say 5th. Don't even get Europa League because of 6th place. I think he needs 5th, borderline 4th. Otherwise, I think he needs to go.
That is realistic, but
Especially since we were only 6 points behind 4th last season. You need to improve on that this season. If you don't, then bye-bye.
but looking at this season, do you feel convinced by the games that we play that you will get that? Because I don't think so. Even in our victories, who did we beat? We beat Norwich 1-0, Burnley 1-0,
Spurs, and then the draw with Brighton.
1-0 at home.
Yeah.
Burnley was a scrape.
We should have done better. We should be doing better. But again, I look at some performances and I at least see, it's like you're saying now, we're having moments of individual good performances. We need the team to perform well. We can't be coming out of every game and just highlighting Smith Rowe or Saka as the standout. I want to come out of every game going, holy shit, there were at least 4 guys
Why?
that I can applaud. You know what I mean? We're not there yet.
I think we sacrificed our attack so much that our defense is more. I'll give that to him though. Our defense
the defense is better.
And I think that is what's causing our attackers to look so cocky.
Away.
Because our team is probably focused on so much, on defending so much, our attackers is just left in the just freestyle there. If you can get a goal or
Just
two.
waiting.
Bro,
I feel you. It is sad.
all the years we either missing a defender, a midfielder, striker.
always
We
something.
never have a
There's
complete
always
team.
something.
There's always something missing with our team.
Yeah.
And still today, our defense looks like it's sorted. Our midfielder is missing.
Yeah. That's true.
Bruh, that's why I said this man's transfer window is so sketchy. If you give me that money,
You'll spend it better.
bro,
But
anybody.
look, we all managers. Every fan is a manager.
True.
Every fan can look at it like
Because
that.
that's what I don't understand. How do they not see that? You telling me Basuma is not on your target list? That man basically made it clear on Instagram.
I will come.
Just
Come and
offer,
get
just
me.
put the offer in.
Look, mate, that's why I say this documentary should tell us a lot. I'm hoping it tells us. If it's anything like the City
I
and
won't
the
believe that
Spurs seasons.
documentary. That is all for money.
So yeah, okay. On the day that we are recording this now, we're playing tonight against Crystal Palace. at home, it's at the Emirates. What are your predictions?
I'm scared to say we're gonna win because I gave the other teams cock yesterday. Now I'm nervous. Now we're winning me.
We have to play last, no?
Yeah, and now we're playing first again next week on Friday.
On Friday.
But ayo, bro. My heart is saying that we're gonna win 2-0, but my mind and reality knowing we're probably gonna struggle, my bro. I don't know. I'm gonna say 2-0. We're gonna win.
I also look out 2-0. That is my prediction. I think we're gonna win by 2 goals.
Yeah.
But I think that we are good enough to keep another clean sheet.
Hey, bro,
I
it's
think
Palace at home, hey, bro. Why are we talking about the struggle? It shouldn't be that way, but
what last season we beat them 3-1 towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
No? And that was the most convincing we've looked against Palace in a long
That
time.
was the last game of the season, bro.
Yeah.
But we never know with this team, bro. So I'll just say 2-1.
Look, a lot of our guys got goals over the weekend with international break. Eh? Like I saw Pepe score. Party got like 2 goals.
Because Arteta's not the coach, bro. That's the reason why. Party scored, bro. Can you believe it?
Party scored.
That man taking 500 shots since playing for Arsenal, bro, and couldn't hit the target yet.
Nah, look, I wouldn't be mad if he didn't take shots anymore at Arsenal because that man has frustrated me quite a bit.
Yeah.
I like his defensive play, but when he goes for goal, bro, it's like, bro, wait for the Carabao Cup games. Just wait for Carabao
How
Cup.
many dead birds laying outside the Emirates already, bro?
But not as many as the dead birds that were left after Fernandez's penalty a couple weeks. That's the last I'm gonna say about that.
Leave that man. Leave that man.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Leave that
I'm
man.
not trying to start anything.
Leave that man.
Always at the wheel.
Okay, so yeah, look, I think we both 2-0. We both think 2-0.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nice to see Vieira back.
Quite, yeah.
Can I ask, do you think, just short and sweet, would you, if Arteta like doesn't do well now at Arsenal? Because I kind of see Vieira's job now at Palace almost like an audition for the Arsenal job. And I think that's why there's a lot of pressure on Arteta tonight because Vieira could very well be the man to replace him if things don't work out with Arteta. Like, do you think that you could get behind someone like Vieira because of his history, or do you want a manager?
I don't want another Ole, bro. Like,
Nah.
I want a solid manager, Conte, bro. Establish that man. Even
No
if he comes with
nonsense.
2 years, win us a league or a Champions League and bounce, I don't mind.
So
bro.
long as we're there again.
Yo, we need a certified manager, bro.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
lover boy, a certified manager we need, bro. We need that.
Alright, so that's the show. Thank you so much for coming on the
Nah,
show,
it's
sharing your
gevaarlijk, bro.
opinions, brah. It's been very interesting being on, getting into the mindset of someone that really sees the problems at the club because I do need to start seeing more of them.
Bro, we
So you
didn't
give-
even cover all the problems.
We didn't, brah, but like again, this is part 1, guys. Part 1 of the Arsenal episode. But away, man, shot so much for coming through. Hopefully, we're right about our 2-0 predictions.
Sheesh.
Hopefully. Sponzy, thank you for holding it
You're
down
welcome.
on audio.
Shout
as
outs to
always.
you, Arsenal boys. It'll be okay, man. It'll be okay.
You, a Liverpool fan can speak like a confident, you know what I mean?
Now, because we've been there. We've been there.
yeah,
true, true.
that's true. That's true.
I'll keep referencing that 2011 Liverpool side.
Shot to the crew and the cameras. Thank to you guys for watching. We are back. We did take a break for the international break, but as long as there's none expected again for the next couple weeks, we should be back weekly as usual. So please like, subscribe, share the shit, and check you next week.
Fafala. Nah, it was a
That's
fun,
a wrap.
bro.
Thank you, brother.